I'm with Austin Williford of St. Anne's Belfield School. And Austin, who has been a successful basketball player on a team that has been to the state championship game in back-to-back seasons. And Austin, we're going to talk a little bit about of course, the theme we discussed for today being gratitude and thankfulness. And first off, that's been an emphasis of you lately. And talk about that and what led to that.
Well, it all started from my parents. They instilled, don't be entitled, know where you come from, don't take anything for granted. So they don't come from the same background I do. They had to work to get to where they are. Didn't come from the wealthiest families. So everything they got, they worked their tails off for. And, me being the product of that, they just want to instill that in me. You got to work for everything you do. Be grateful for it. Don't take it for granted. Just appreciate everything that you have and everything that you do.
And let's talk a little bit more about that because, I know your mom, of course, who's been able to have a lot of success as a lawyer. And then, of course, your dad, Jason, who coaches basketball and, is quite well known at Virginia for all the work he's done, both as a player, as a coach. And, you've grown up, you've had, that's a nice position to be in but I know also from your attitude and how you play and, how you treat people as well, that good background growing up is not something you've taken for granted.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like I said, family, they push me. They don't ever let me even take a back seat to anybody. They want me to be the best person I can be on the court and off the court. And, without them, I don't know what I would be. I don't know where I would be.
And what steps do you take to avoid taking everything for granted?
Well, honestly, I will pray, thank God for everything first. I try to talk to people and respect people and things like they're mine or like they're my family. People, I try to treat people like they're my mom or my father or my brother, don't disrespect them. Just keep a good head on. And I just always put things into perspective, there's a lot worse out there. A bad day for me might be a great day for someone else, So really just keeping it in perspective and just like we've been saying, just don't take anything for granted. Be grateful for everything.
Your dad, Jason, he had to work, of course, very hard to get to the college level and then up through the coaching ranks to get to where he is. And what lessons in particular have you learned? And this doesn't have to just be on gratitude, but just watching him play or watching him coach and and his journey.
Well, on him, what I got from him is just three things I got from him. Passion, you gotta do everything with passion, with a certain spark and fire in you. You gotta work like no one else. You gotta work to get there first in the gym, be the last one to leave, work your tail off. And then the last thing is just compete. Always compete, never take a back seat. Go all out in everything you do. You want to win everything. So just bringing those things and, him instilling that in me and me picking that up from just watching old films or clips of him play. So, just incorporating those into my everyday life, basketball, school, all of that, it means a lot.
Mm-hmm. And how have you been able to, to leverage that family connection while also with Jay, I mentioned the success of your parents but while also forging your own path?
I just take pieces from their life. My dad, he's a great dude, has a lot of connections. I'll use him, and he knows a lot. He's been through everything that I want to go through. So we talk a lot about my future, college, after that. So just taking the knowledge he has in the basketball and then, taking my mom's knowledge that she has in really the real world because she's lived that. She's been through so much. So just incorporating, taking bits and pieces from their life and just putting together and pave my own path.
And when it comes to many in your position, Austin, they end up feeling, but there's another end of it too, and that's the pressure to, just to live up to that legacy. And what have you done to maintain a healthy perspective and focus on your own goals and development, without getting bogged down by the external expectations?
Right. So there definitely is pressure. Earlier this year, I felt the pressure just a little bit, but when I got a little down on myself. My dad pulled me aside and said, "Don't listen to what everyone else is saying. Just hear it, and just take it and use it as them wanting you to be the best you can be, and just." Changing that from the pressure to them just wanting me to be the best I can be and just using that pressure to fuel myself. Like, again, like if I have some haters, I'll use that, try to prove them wrong. That's really just how I cope with that pressure and get around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you always come across those that sometimes think, and I've seen it before, they think, they're just riding their parents' coattails or whatnot. And with your case, that is anything, and I've seen anything but the truth. If you could give other advice to other kids in your type of situation looking to make their own mark, what would you tell them about appreciating their unique position and not necessarily needing to follow the same road as their parents or caving into the outside pressure?
Honestly, so first I would say just find the love. You want to do what you love. For me, I love basketball. I had to find that love though, because there was a time I would say I was doing it for my dad. This is super early, but I was doing it for my dad, and I wasn't playing as good as I could be. But then I really found that love, and then that's when I kind of excelled and took off a little bit. But like I was saying, first find the love, then you just got to work. You just got to keep working and working, keep your head down, keep working, and then don't listen to outside noise. It's good to every once in a while hear what other people think, so you can use it as feedback. That's what I like to do. Hear what people say, use that as feedback, how I can get better. But yeah, if you just keep your head down, work, find the love, and then just don't listen to the outside noise, use that feedback, then you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned finding the love, and for you, when did that moment hit?
I would say about early into my sophomore year. I kind of was going through the motions. I did love it. I kind of felt a little bit of love because the pressure did get to me a little bit. But then I got in the lab, got with my trainers, got in the weight room, started doing all that, and it sparked the love. It sparked the flame. It sparked that flame in me again. And that's when I really, like I said, took that leap in my basketball career.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about that, son, now, your basketball career. First off, you've had 2 state championship appearances, and I was stunned to learn that St. Anne's Belfield had actually never won a state championship. And I know that's something that you look to be a special group to do. And talk about that journey and what it's been like for you.
Yeah, so getting to the state, so the first time my sophomore year was actually our school's first time getting to the state championship game. So that alone, that meant a lot. But obviously we wanted to win the game. It didn't turn out how we wanted it to. We lost that game. Second year, we got to that spot. We had that hunger, after losing last year. We had that hunger. We came out a little slow, but we picked it up second half. We really flowing together. Came short again to the same team. So this year we've all been in the lab, been in the gym, shooting, working out together. We all go to the same gym. We have our own workout group. We all lift at the same time. So, just this is going to be our year. We came back better than ever. We added some pieces. We also lost some pieces last year, but we added some pieces. So we're just looking to bounce back and finally get that first chip.
Let's talk a little bit about Coach Altizer and somebody who's deeply respected. You hear kind words about him from, of course, Tony Bennett, Jason Williford, Richie McKay at Liberty. Talk about Coach Altizer and just the level of like and respect that he carries around the community.
Well, it's hard not to like him. You can laugh with him. You have a serious talk. On the court, he'll let you play he'll let you play however you really want. As long as you play defense, he's amazing. On the court, the guy lets you just play, be free, get up and down. He's amazing. Off the court, like I said, you can have a laugh with him. You can have a serious heart-to-heart talk with him. Amazing trainer. He's just a great all-around guy.
What is something that you think you learned from him that you'll carry on throughout your life?
I would just say appreciation, because he really makes me really think about the stuff that you're able to do, like being healthy, having a functional body. So just the gratitude that he brings to just any environment he's in, the gratitude he brings to life is just amazing. I want to carry that on.
Mm-hmm. And for you as a player, what would you say your biggest obstacle was that you've overcome to this point?
I would have to say, honestly, this foot injury that I had this year, I missed 10 games. It was the earlier part of the season. I think it was maybe our third, fourth game that I tweaked it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was our fourth game. I tweaked my ankle, missed 10 games. I came back really slow. I didn't have that same edge that I usually have. That same fight, because I was a little timid due to my ankle, so I didn't want to hurt it again. But after I got that slump, playoffs, state started, and then I was back. Really was flying around, knocking down threes, running the show, dunking on people. I was back. But yeah, definitely that those 10 games I missed, they really hurt me. Slowed me down, especially this year, because this is supposed to be junior year is your big year recruitment-wise. So missing those 10 games and just that game experience in the season kind of slowed me down.
Yeah, and what would be one of your favorite memories like? And this can be, Austin, from the time you were first able to carry a basketball.
I would have to say we went to Top Golf. I think it was my sophomore year. We went to Top Golf, and it was just really funny because none of the dudes on our team can golf, and we had a blast that night. It was hilarious. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, nice. You can imagine some of the fun with that. And let's talk a little bit about academics, because, you're one that also, we've been just talking about basketball play to this point, but, you've made good grades. And let's talk about one of your favorite subjects. And I know you're a big fan of science, you mentioned.
Yeah.
And, talk about that. I guess at this point, if you were to start college right now, and you might be like I was, undecided, so that's totally cool. That's what I would have been at that age. Do you have a particular major of interest?
I don't. I would love to do something in the biology department. That would be awesome. I'm super curious, just want to know how things work. So honestly, something in that biology department, that would be awesome for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's a cool fact about yourself? In your last interview, we learned that you mentioned how you enjoyed swimming. Give us another cool fact about yourself.
I love to fish. I'm a big fisher.
You fit in well in Eastern Kentucky. And the last question for you, Austin, are there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
First and foremost, my parents, wouldn't be here without them, wouldn't be the person I am without them. They drive me every day to D.C., or not every day, but they drive me to D.C. countless hours. I don't know how many put in since 8th grade, so they drive me up and back for practices. I love them for that. Damon, my coach, he's also my trainer. He believed in me since day one. And then my little brother, that's my best friend. He pushes me, I push him. He's just the best.
Awesome. Well, Austin, we want to say thank you for being on the show. Your third time being on.
Third time having you.
Yeah, we want to say thank you all for tuning in and listening to this episode of the Player Spotlight. Be sure to also check out the interview with Connor Lyons that was released. And we want to say thank you for watching this episode of the Player Spotlight. I'm Tyler Rowland. God bless you, and we will see you soon.